I'm going to share with you a mindset that I got from Jim Rohn personally, a mindset that I've never heard of before that made Tony Robbins millions and millions and millions of dollars. And when I share this with you, I want you to see if you really have this mindset. I've never heard of this before, and I apply it on a daily basis, and it gets me massive results. But I tell you this in advance, it's not for wimps. Hey, it's Gary Coxe, business and life strategist, and I've got one of my cockatoos here. This is Tequila. Tequila's going to hang with us for a little bit. And let me just click this on real fast. All right, so let's talk about this. So let me tell you the story with me spending some time with Jim Rohn. Got to spend time with Jim Rohn several times when he was alive. Great man, really lovely philosopher he's known as well as a speaker. So in Tampa, that's near where I live. And by the way, if you're not familiar with me, I have authored several books. One is You Can't Fillet a Nibble, It's the Catch That Counts. Another is How to Make Your Thoughts Disappear. Love to have you subscribe because I got a lot more of this on my videos. We got hacked some time ago, so we'd certainly appreciate the support. Wouldn't we, Tequila? All right, here we go. So here's the story. In Tampa, there was supposed to be an event. This has been decades ago, okay, that Jim Rohn and I were supposed to be at. And I think it was like on a Wednesday, but Tuesday, the day before, Jim had an event in Chicago. And there were no available airlines for him to finish his event in the evening and then fly to Tampa to make his event to speak the next day. So me being a pilot, the promoter said to me, hey, can you help me out? Can you fly up there and go get him? So I agreed to. We flew up there and I got Jim. Now, before we took off, I had a question for Jim. I said to Jim, and if you don't know this, Jim actually gave Tony Robbins his start. And how that happened was Jim Rohn used to do live events, and to get people, there was no internet back there, so there was no exposure like you have today. So to get people at your events, you would have representatives. Tony was one of his representatives. I think he may have been 17. And those representatives would go to organizations like car dealers, realtors, companies like that, do a presentation about Jim Rohn, and then sell tickets to Jim Rohn's events. And I said to Jim, I said, what is the difference? And this is the difference right here. What is the difference between Tony Robbins and other people? And he looked at me and he said, here's the difference, Gary. Tony Robbins has the guts of a burglar. He has the guts of a burglar. Oh, I love that. And he does. He's got the guts of a burglar. And when you are confident and when things happen, you don't care because you have the guts of a burglar. Now, I'm going to ask you a question on a scale of 1 to 10. Don't answer it yet because you're going to get yourself in a hole if you answer it too quickly. Let me finish. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, don't answer it yet. How much on this scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, would you say you have the guts of a burglar? Now, if you say 10, be careful, or something very high, you better be very, very, very successful. Because having the guts of the burglar gets you results where other people will do things that you will not do. And you will do things that they won't do because you have the guts of a burglar. So let me give you an example how I've applied this and how I use this type of a mindset to get results. And by the way, for those of you who feel that your numbers are low, like you have a 2 or a 3 or a 4, you need to get to this point. Because when you get to this point, I will assure you, people respect you when you have the guts of a burglar. Here's an example. I made a phone call a couple days ago. The guy just obviously hung up on me. So here comes the guts of a burglar. What do? I call right back. Now, he didn't pick up, so I go in my computer and I task that to come up to me or in front of me 2 days from now. So in 2 days, I'm going to see the note where so-and-so hung up on me. I'm going to call him back. The moment he picks up, here's what I say. Guts of a burglar conversation. Some people may or may not agree with this. They pick up and I say, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I called you a couple days ago. I believe you actually hung up on me. It's Gary Coxe. How are you? Now, some people say, Gary, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you do that? Well, stop and think about it. If the guy hung up on me anyway, am I going to make a sale? No. So if he hangs up on me again because I have the guts of a burglar, I haven't lost anything. But what if, just by a little chance, he's thrown off because the average person is not going to call him out on it, and he's thrown off, it opens the door, and he listens to me. Two things are going to happen for me. I'm going to change somebody's life, and I'm going to get thousands of dollars for doing it. All right, there you go. Here's another example, and I want you to be thinking about, even in the dating world. Like, let's say if you're a guy and you're shy. Look, if you got the guts of a burglar, you're going to go up to anybody. I'll go up to a woman that I think is very beautiful or attractive, even though, check this out, here's the guts of a burglar, even though she has a wedding ring on. And I will say to her, excuse me, I was just curious. I noticed you have a ring on. Is that to scare away the roaches, or are you married, or both? And now she gets to chuckle a little bit. And I have done this enough where some people, women have told me, it's just there to scare the roaches off. People like me. And then it creates a conversation, and I go from there. Guts of a burglar. It gets you some really amazing results. Here's another one for you. Here's an example here. Let's say I'm going to go into, and I'm doing, when I shared with you that Tony Robbins would go to these offices and he would sell tickets to Jim Rohn's events. I do this every 5 to 8 years. It's what I call a promotional tour. I'm on this promotional tour right now. In fact, I just started it. So for the next several months now, obviously if you watch this video years from when I made this video, chances are I'm not doing it. But if you are part of, or you're a manager or know a manager that has a sales organization and would like to have me come in for free, I waive my very large speaking fee. There is an exception though. I do charge for, not charge, but I have expenses. You got to pay for the expenses. I will come in and do a complimentary presentation, or up to an hour and a half or more. And I just ask that you allow me to offer my books and my programs. Anyway, so that's that. So let's say I'm going to go into a company to ask the manager if I can do that. And this happens to me often. So here's the office, or here's the building, I should say. Here's the front door. So you would enter the door here. Let's say the building has another door here, and it has another door here. And here's the reception area. So I walk through the reception area, and then I ask to speak to general manager so-and-so. She goes, I don't know if he's available. Let me see. And they'll start walking back to his office somewhere back there. Well, take a guess what Gary does. I don't stay right there. No. I start following her as far as I can get to without her observing or saying, just wait right here, I'll find out. Then I'm going to eyeball to know exactly where his office is. Thinking guts of a burglar. I'm already going into this thinking guts of a burglar already. Let's say she comes back out, or he comes back out and says to me, he's not interested. Okay? I haven't gained anything, have I? Right? I haven't gained anything, not interested. If I walk away, still not interested. So here's what I'm going to do. I come back the next day or 2 days later or whatever, and I notice there's another door here. So that this person doesn't recognize me in the front, I'm going to do the guts of a burglar. I'm coming through the side door, and I'm going in unannounced. Boy, Gary, that's pretty bold. That's right. It's called the guts of a burglar. Now, what if he throws me out? I haven't lost anything anyway because it was already a no the first time, so I just got another no. But what if by some chance, it's a numbers game, because of having the guts of a burglar, that little sliver of opportunity opened up and he says, yes, I'll give you 60 seconds. He gives me 60 seconds and then he says yes to me. I get in, two things are going to happen. I'm going to change lives and I'm going to make thousands of dollars. There you go. So have the guts of a burglar. I want you to be thinking about then, let's say you answer this and you're at about a 2 or a 3. Gary, I don't have the guts of a burglar. How do I get there? Excuse the illustration, but how does a real burglar get there? They don't just wake up one day, have no criminal record, look at a house and say, you know what? I'm going to go rob that house. No, they usually start it with a gateway like shoplifting some candy at the convenience store. Like, how do drug dealers, or drug addicts, I should say, become drug addicts? They start with gateway drugs, something smaller, not so bad. Then they go to the LSD and the meth and all the other stuff. So it's a gradual thing. And again, I hate to use the crazy illustration, but it is what it is. So what I want you to be thinking about, if this is something that you would never do, okay, I get that. But do you think something like this would get you results? Absolutely. If you want to have guts of a burglar, these are some of the things that you need to do, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So how do you get started? Do the little things that you might find right now in your mind that might be having the guts of the burglar, the little candy, just something little. Get to the conditioning mentally that you can do this and do as much of it as you possibly can. If you're only going to do this once in a blue moon, once a month, once every other month, trust me, you are not going to have the guts of a burglar. You want to be a professional burglar in your business. You want to have the guts all of the time. You can't just once in a while have the guts of a burglar. You want to become the person who has the guts of a burglar, not the person who once in a while has the guts of a burglar. When you become that person, it is very obvious. And let me tell you what, I can't tell you how many people literally have respect for me because I'm doing what they wouldn't even do. And they go, this guy's got some big kahunas, right? And I get a lot of respect from people that way. And I don't go in cocky. If they want to chase me out, I'm not nasty to them. Okay. But I know I'm going in there with the expecting that they may catch me burglarizing their house and they may kick me out. I get that. I know that is the possible consequence of this. But I also know the possible consequence of this is I'm going to win if they say yes, and I'm going to win them over. Not only am I going to win them over, I'm going to get them to introduce me to other people like them so I can save more lives and increase my business. There you go. Have the guts of a burglar. I'm out of here. Love to see you subscribe if you don't mind, and love to reply to as many of these comments as I possibly can. I do that personally when I'm able to. I'm out of here between now and the next time we get to chat. You know what to do, and if you don't, you do now. It's the title of one of my books. Don't let others rent space in your head. Have an awesome day, and remember, go out there and have the guts of a burglar.